it says that it's publishing YouTube broadcast, but it catches what we're saying right now.
Huh.
So like, I've always used that as like my intro. It's just like fuck it, whatever. We'll just like talk into it, but whatever. I guess now we're live. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Beach Episode podcast. I'm your host, the Chunky Cat, and my other host is back this week, Tripitas.
What's going on? It's been a while.
It has been a while. What has it been, like 3 weeks for us that we both done a podcast together?
Yeah, I think it's been about 3 weeks.
About 3 weeks. Unfortunately, sometimes this is gonna happen during the podcast where me and Tripitas are just gonna be busy. So sometimes we're not gonna get like a podcast in every once in a while, but we're gonna try. The only reason it's been 3 weeks for this time was Benson had a lot of stuff to do one weekend, and 2 weeks in a row my birthday came up, and then I had to go to a wedding. So unfortunately I couldn't do any podcasts, but now that we have some free time, and I think I have another Saturday off next week, so we'll definitely be doing more podcasts in the future.
Goddamn right.
Hopefully, right? I mean, like, I love doing podcasts. That's just, I feel like it's hard, but it's also fun because you just get to talk to people and random shit, and like a lot of fun stuff happens on podcasts.
Catch up, shoot the shit, talk about anime thighs.
Who has the best anime thighs?
Reading Tosaka.
From Fate?
Yep. It's not even close. Don't at me.
Nope.
Yes. Yes.
No.
You mean no?
No. I'm trying to actually. Why I went silent was like I was trying to think of an anime chick with really big thighs, but I really can't think of one right now.
It's not always about the size.
I mean, like, I guess. But
Size
like,
doesn't always matter, Steven. Jeez.
don't. Okay, you're right. Size doesn't always matter. You're definitely correct on that. But like you said, big anime thighs. So like I was automatically thinking of like.
No, I just said anime thighs.
Oh, well, I thought about big anime thighs. I guess I was thinking about Pixar. Like, you know how Pixar moms are like just thick as fuck.
Jesus Christ, the ass slider.
Yeah, like
More.
it's like
More.
it's like a Coke bottle, but then like it just becomes a fucking like peach on the bottom. It's like damn.
A peach and a stick.
The peach and stick. Before we get into actually today's podcast, I do want to shout out a friend of mine. He made this logo right here. He made the Beach Episode podcast logo. As you can tell, it's a beach volleyball, and then it is a cat, and on the top is a taco filled with tripitas, because tripitas is a type of meat in Mexico that they use for tacos. And for some reason, Adam decided that his name was gonna be Tripitas, and I totally agree with him. I think it fitted out well because the logo looks pretty cool with the cat and then the taco, and then on the umbrella in Japanese it says Beach Episode Podcast, which is pretty cool. The guy who drew this is my friend named Anthony Manuel. He's also a coworker of mine. He started digging the podcast and then asked if he could draw a logo for me, and I totally said yes. I don't have anywhere I can shout him out yet, but hopefully in the next podcast I can get like a link where he like draws. He's an artist, like he likes drawing and stuff, and he does really well, as you can tell. I think the logo looks really badass. But
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
And I just wanted to thank you real quick, Anthony. I think you've been asking me when I was gonna do the next podcast, and hopefully you get to watch this and you get to see that I'm shouting you out, man, because I really do appreciate the logo, and I never thought anyone would do a logo for us, and you did it for free and without even having to ask you. So
We're moving up in the world.
we're moving up in the world. We got someone drawing us a logo. Next thing you know, we're gonna be like Joe Rogan. We're gonna take over the fucking world. We're gonna get contracts. Crunchyroll's gonna sign us. Maybe Kishimoto puts me in another fucking manga of his. And no.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get too ahead of ourselves, no, but we do want to thank you, Anthony. Thank you for boosting this podcast even more, because we needed a logo and you gave us one, which is super fucking awesome. On today's episode, we are not going to talk about Rent a Girlfriend or Uzaki-chan. Unfortunately, like I said, we've been kind of busy, but we thought we'd just make another podcast, hence why it says special podcast episode 2, as the last special podcast was Yin Yang and Project Xion. But today, it's just me and Chunky Cat and Tripitas, and today we're going to talk about how we both got into anime, how we both became weebs.
Oh dear God, we're going down some dark roads here.
Yeah, I mean, does your start in different times cause like I told you earlier, mine starts in two different ways. Like I first started when I was like in
Yeah,
second
why
grade.
don't you talk about, why don't you start off with yours?
Okay, I guess I'll talk my little rabbit hole. When I was like 7, I started watching Dragon Ball Z and I think Yu Yu Hakusho. Those were like on Toonami. I won't count Thundercats because I'm pretty sure Thundercats was an American cartoon in the 80s, right?
I have no idea on that one.
Okay, whoever's watched Thundercats, shout out to the OGs. But I think that's an American cartoon that's like in the 80s. But they used to come in like in a block. So I used to watch a shit ton of Dragon Ball Z, and I legit thought Dragon Ball Z was an American cartoon until I was like a senior in high school.
I like vaguely remember. Well, no, you know what? No, go on. Keep going. We'll get to that later.
Okay. So after that, I take a hiatus because like I start growing up a little bit more, and I think maybe the last animation that was foreign that I watched was Code Lyoko, and that was like a French anime that they had on like also Toonami, on the Toonami time slot. But then I kind of just stopped watching cartoons after a while because I got into sports, so I started watching a lot of sports, and then around after high school,
What
I
he's
gr-
trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is he became a Chad.
yeah, I became a Chad for like a better part of my like early life growing up, which is hilarious. I was like in all the sports. I wasn't your typical jock. I wasn't the dude who was like an asshole. Like I was an asshole, but like I was also
Oh,
nice
we
to
know.
people.
We
Yeah,
know.
everyone should know by now on this podcast. You'll know later down the line. It's like I'm an asshole. It's just all my friends know. But yeah, I grew up, typical jock dude playing sports. Never really cared about anime. I had friends that watched anime. I just never really like piqued an interest until after high school. I got bored. And I was going through a rough time in my life with like some issues, and one of my friends recommended Naruto to me, and I was just like, nah, what? That's an anime. What do you mean? And he's like, nah, dude, you gotta watch this. It's really good. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And then I ended up binging like 3 seasons in one night, or like in 2 nights. But that that was probably like the best part about getting into Weeb again. Was like I experienced it as a child, but I didn't really fully appreciate it until like I got to 18, 19, and I started watching Naruto. And I was just like, hey, like this shit's really good. Um,
Wait, this is way better than sports.
yeah, and I was watching like sitcoms too at the time, like what they had like on fucking TV back in the day. I don't even know what they had on TV. I would just watch it every once in a while. I never found anything interesting to watch growing up besides sports. Like I couldn't get into like reality shows, maybe like Jersey Shore, just because all my friends watched it as a kid. But like I never got into like actual like sitcoms or reality TV shows growing up as a kid. I was always more into like just sports. And then like once like quote unquote your sports career ends in high school, right? Like I didn't go to college and play sports, so like I peaked in high school. So like what do you do after that? Like after you've done sports. And so like I was kind of grateful that like I found anime because like I've never been more interested in anything other than sports besides anime and probably League of Legends. So
Oh God,
yeah, League of Legends is another story. We'll talk about that in a different podcast. But
we're
uh
not trying to have a drinking podcast right now because talking about that's gonna make us both drink.
yeah, we were just mad earlier. Before we got on this podcast, we had like a 30-minute conversation, angry conversation about League of Legends.
Well, I mean, sure, we haven't done a podcast in a couple of weeks. Maybe we can like have an extended one and talk about it later.
I'm down for that. But yeah, after Naruto, I started watching Bleach, and I really liked Bleach a lot also. And so like I was kind of like thirsting for anime at this point. I was like, oh, what do I gotta watch? And that's when my selection wasn't as broad as it is now. It was more like I just want to see
So
action anime.
you kind of started off narrow.
Yeah, I started just pure action anime, as you recall. Like
Okay.
it was like all I think my first animes were like Naruto, Bleach, Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop, um, and Tokyo Ghoul, and they all have heavy action. Some of them do have storylines, but like the main basis of each show is just like you're gonna fight like a motherfucker in each like show. So like those are my kind of Berserk. Berserk was another anime that like opened my eyes to like, gore. That's all I wanted to see for like the first year, I think, of anime.
I still haven't watched the 90s, is it? 90s Berserk? I've seen the 3 movies on Netflix.
Yeah, because there's like a 25 episode like 90s version, I think.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
yeah.
that one either. My friend has the entire set. He's like a huge Berserk fan, and he says like it's the shit. It's like way better than the movies because it goes more in depth. Like,
Maybe that could be like another one at some point. We could like go through the manga, because I only read up, I think, right at the end of the Golden Age arc is where I left off of on the manga.
I don't know. I've read the 2 volumes that came out. They did like a 2 volume, like there's like 3 volume box set, and I've read the first 2 volumes, so I don't know where I'm at.
I thought about getting that like deluxe edition, was it? Because that looks really cool. It
was the big black manga book, right? And it had like yeah. That was the one I read both those volumes, and I need to read the 3rd one. I just haven't had time to buy it, but yeah, that's a good ass anime to start on, honestly. If anyone's ever wanted to get into anime, and you're like an action person, I think Berserk would be a good one, because it has a lot of action, but it also has like character development, which is
it has a really powerful, I think, character development and story from like the little I've read.
Even the romance, like from the movies, like you could tell like the characters weren't just bland, like there was something more to them. And like some animes have all the action and all the fighting, right? And that's good. But like if you don't have character development, I feel like then you're not going to succeed in that anime you're making. At least one character has to develop into something, right?
Yeah, one would hope. Definitely.
Like I would just hate to like see like what if Berserk never, like if Griffith never like developed, or Casca never developed, like.
I can't bring myself to hate Griffith. Like at all.
Me either.
I don't know. I just like Griffith as a character.
I feel like what he did was that like what every person would do.
Hashtag Griffith did nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean, well, the rape part, that's kind of wrong. But
oh man, that's kind of spoiler territory.
Whatever. Sorry. The fucking anime is like 20 years old. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I just think that what he did was what any person would do. Is just greed. Humans are susceptible to greed, and.
But you think it's greed?
Well, he did do the egg just to rule the world, right? Like that's why he made the pact with his egg.
See, right? I have a different take on it, but that's like that'll be like a conversation for a different time. Hey, maybe we can do it next week.
Maybe. I'm actually interested to hear what your topic on that is, because I thought I need to rewatch it, I guess, but like I feel like when he took the egg, like his only greed was to become like the demigod, right, that he was promised.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't care about anybody else. He was using people as pawns for his own for his own good, I guess. And I think he was just so greedy with himself only that like he destroyed like a lot. But I wouldn't be mad at him, because like any person would do that, and it's shown over the history of time of human beings that like greed is like the worst fucking thing for a human. Because like once you get that little taste of power, then you start to use and start making people pawns, and like that's just like really weird, But I get that, because greed is the one big thing in the world, and I think that's what Griffith did. He was just really greedy, and he got what he got, So
yeah, I have a completely different take on it, but we'll talk. We can talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's see. After what's it, Berserk and Tokyo Ghoul, I think I started watching slice of life animes. Tanaka-kun's Always Listless. That was the first slice of life anime that I watched that got me into slice of life. And I think that was around the time I met you. Cuz I'm throwing you into my anime story, cuz you're also part of my anime story, which is hilarious.
Oh God.
Which is hilarious.
Oh no.
Cuz I joined for those of you who don't know, I joined a group called the IGN Anime Club. This was back in 2016. And
Jesus Christ, has it been that long?
Yeah, 2016, 2015.
That was the same year I joined.
Yeah. So I joined around 2016, and that was a very small anime group to begin with. I think they were under 15,000. They were about to hit 15,000 when I joined, and that was when IGN owned the anime account. And so that one was kind of cool because like the IGN people who did like the anime stuff on their room, they would like run the Facebook page, and like they did a really good job. They had their own podcast, they had their own watch parties. The community in there was really nice, and it still is to this day. What ended up happening was IGN ended up I think cutting their anime department, right?
I don't exactly remember how it went down, but I think it was something along those lines.
Yeah, and so like the IGN people were like, "Yo, we're not gonna do the page anymore. We're gonna let this be a free page for people who still want to run it." And so it went through a whole overhaul, and it's called now the Reanime Club. It's on Facebook. I think now there's about 40,000, 50,000 people now, which is insane.
I don't know if there's that many.
I mean, I could be inflating the numbers like a savage, but let me check right now. But yeah, anyways, to go on with the anime club story is that like I used to post just random shit, and one day I was like, I want to start a podcast, so I ended up posting this thing saying, hey, I want to do this podcast. I play League of Legends, and I would like to do a podcast while playing League of Legends. Is anyone down? And lo and behold, okay, so not 30, 40.
Here comes this asshole.
There's like 20,000 people in the fucking club. Whatever. I inflated it. Whatever. Um. So no one answers me for like a day, and like lo and behold, some some dude fucking Adam Benson comes in.
Whoa,
And
name dropping. Jesus.
whatever. My name's Steven. I think we can
True.
call each other
Anyway.
Adam. So, he comes in. He's like, "I'll do it with you." And I'm like, "Cool." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'm so down." And so we end up doing the podcast. And I think the first podcast we were doing top 10 like anime girls.
I think so, yeah. Going
Yeah.
down, like, I think it was like yours and my, like, top 10 girls.
Yeah. And then that's how our friendship began, honestly, because we ended up fighting over Best Girl and Rem and Amelia.
Yeah, and you're still wrong.
I mean, no, I don't think I'm wrong. I think Amelia's probably the better of the two.
No.
But let's see, after that, I think you started opening my eyes into more anime. You got me into Real Life. Which is
Did I?
Yeah, right? You're the one who got me
Okay,
into Real
because
Life.
I like watched it and I really liked it. And I just don't remember recommending it to you, so that's kind of funny because I think you ended up getting kind of way more into it than I did because you went right through the manga, didn't you? Is that how that worked out?
I read into the manga, but you actually got more into the manga than I did because you kept telling me to read like a certain chapter and I never got to it.
Oh, because I think that was like later last year
Yeah.
when I like finally went through it and read it.
Yeah, because you were like, yo, you need to read this, and I was like, I'll try, and then I just never got to it because I just never found the manga again. Because I forgot what website I found it on.
SMH.
Yeah. So that was like the first thing. That was the first thing you got me into. Well, no, I don't think that was the first thing you got me into in anime was. I don't know what your first recommendation was.
I think it was Food Wars. I think.
Yeah, it probably was Food Wars.
Because goddamn, Food Wars was super hype, like way back 4 years ago.
Yeah. Was it? Has it been that long that Food Wars has been out? 4 years?
I think it's. Shoot, when has the first?
I thought it was like
when
2
did the
years.
first?
Feels like it was
When did the
2018.
first season come out? Yeah, no, the first season came out in 2016.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. So it has been. Yeah. Because I remember I didn't want to watch it because of the fucking like foodgasms. Because I thought they were like way over the top.
Correction. Season 2 came out in 2016. Season 1 came out in 2015. Anyway.
Yeah, we caught it like a year later, right? I feel like.
See, wait, you didn't want to watch it because of the foodgasms?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that stuff. Like.
See, it's funny you say that because that's exactly why I watched it.
I was like, because like I was watching shit at work too. So like I'd watch anime at work, and it would always be weird. Like if I paused or something, and like there's like a fucking person having like an orgasm eating a fucking plate, which is like wild. So I'm like, fuck that, because like I did that once and some guy was like, "What are you watching, man?" And I turn around, and it's like the part where like tentacles are wrapped around this chick's like titties, and
Jesus
and I'm just like, "Oh no!" And I look at the guy. I was like, "If you're thinking this is porn, it's not."
It's just mostly porn.
And he was like, "Okay." And I didn't want to press play because I knew if I pressed play, that girl was gonna moan, and it wasn't gonna help my case. So I was just like, "Whatever, man." I had to explain to him that it was a food anime, like they were battling in food, and like the food made him, have an orgasm sort of, and he was just kind of like looking at me really weird, and I was just like, "You have a nice day, man."
You know what? I'm gonna see myself out.
Yeah, I'll see you later, bud. That was basically what fucking happened.
That's fucking great.
And that was because I didn't I used to work like a weird shift where like a couple days I'd work day and then I'd go night shift. And night shift was never a problem watching anime. I could blast it all the way and no one would fucking like know. But day was always different because like if someone just came in at the wrong time, because like they used to come from the lobby area from the
Just
back.
hear a loud moan.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "Hey, what are you watching, man?" I'd be like, anime."
No, don't worry about it. It's not porn though.
Yeah,
Definitely not porn.
yeah, it's definitely not porn.
But it also might mostly be porn.
That's also not a lie, especially with anime. Like you just never know. Like you probably think it's fine, and then all of a sudden there's just like a weird naked scene. You're like, "Oh, hello." But
Hello, hello.
I haven't ran into those animes yet. I haven't definitely ran into those animes yet. Thank God. But
See, I always like if there's even the slightest suspicion, I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I get home.
yeah, that is true. Like as soon as I like see like the first 5 minutes of it, and I know it's kind of going raunchy, I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till I can go home and watch this by myself or something. Because especially where I work now, I can't like just be watching weird anime like on my phone. You know, someone walking by thinking it's some kind of like porno that I'm watching.
Ooh, that'd be bad. That'd
It,
be bad.
I'm telling you, man, like that dude's face. I still remember his face because he was really weirded out that the tentacles were wrapped around this girl's boobs. And like I was weirded out as well because like I think that was my first run through of watching Food Wars. So like I didn't even know that was gonna happen, and I was like, well, fucking great. Yeah. You actually did recommend that anime to me because I remember being kind of mad. I was like fucking torpitas. I was like,
This,
dude got
this
me watching
fucking
porn
guy.
at work.
This fucking guy. He's gonna get me fired.
Yeah, getting me straight fired for fucking watching a food anime and people thought it was porn.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm here to like show you the ways.
And then after Food Wars, I think I got into Ari's. Well, RE0 was before Food Wars, that was for sure. But I think I got more into RE0 after Food Wars, because then I kind of like rewatched it, because you were bagging on Amelia so much. I was just like, I gotta see if Benson's even like a little bit right, and you weren't. So like, it's cool.
You mean I was?
No. And then you got me onto this dumb anime called Eromanga Sensei, which is the worst anime ever. And I've watched
You're
it 4
welcome.
times, people. Whoever's watching this. And you're probably asking
You've
yourself.
You've seen it more than me.
You're probably asking yourself, the Chunky Cat, why would you watch an anime that you fucking hate 4 times? I'll tell you why. I am a man of principle, and I try to find.
Okay, bullshit, but go on.
I am a man of principle.
Principal, my fat white ass.
And so I was just trying to find good in that anime. And you know what I found? Trash. Everywhere.
Not even.
Not
But
one
it's
good
not.
seed.
It's not trash though. It's a landfill, and that's what makes it great.
Dude, I haven't even gotten through that OVA yet. The OVA was crazy too. If you ever, anyone who ever wants to watch Eromanga Sensei, you can. It's kind of almost like an incest anime. Literally, well, they're not related. So
No, they're step siblings.
it's still incest, I feel like.
Come on, they're totally not related by blood.
They
That's
are.
very important.
They're related by blood.
No, they're not.
They're not.
Yep.
But still, it's still like
It's fine.
it's on the edge.
Nothing bad happens in that show.
No,
Come on, man. You're trying to steer people away from art.
it's not art.
It is.
It's trash, guys. Don't watch it.
It's a landfill, and that's why you should watch it.
What was after Edomanga Sensei? I think we just kind of watched whatever was like flowing through those seasons, right? Like anything that new came out that interested us, I think we both would watch it.
Yeah, like I think like the past couple of years, I've only been watching a few shows a season, because like I have a hard time watching shows week to week, because I don't like getting stuck on a bad episode then having to wait a whole week. So I
Yeah.
usually wait until shows are completed and then just go right through them in one sitting.
Yeah, I think the last time we did week to week, besides the podcast, was Gamers. Was that the anime show?
Yeah, I think so.
That was the last one we actually watched week to week, which is like a year or two ago, for sure. I think.
Feels longer than that, but I think it was last year.
No, Dragon Maid 2. That was also another thing we watched week to week.
Ooh, I'm ready for season 2, boy.
Dude, telling me, man, that's actually a long awaited anime that I've been kind of wanting to see. Is the season 2 of that. My favorite anime, Bleach. Hopefully they don't, give me another 45% filler arc. I'm still salty about that, dude. Like, I get why Naruto had, filler arcs. Like, I'm pretty sure they're catching up to the manga, and like, blah 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 blah. But like with Bleach, like I felt like they had so much time to not do that, right? And they just like they were like, fuck it, we're gonna give you like a 70 episode arc about filler, and I'm like, no, I don't want that.
No, but you do.
No,
No, you clearly want that.
why would I want that?
Because that's exactly what you're getting with the new season.
Whatever, dude.
Gotta happen.
Don't douse my hopes in gasoline, and then light me on
No,
fire.
I'm just gonna douse it in acid and rat piss. What do you mean?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh no, don't do that. Don't.
Dude,
really-
I got you, homie.
Don't shoot down my dreams before they even like come up to the sky.
Oh, well, I mean, and Amelia is like 5th best girl, so you know.
Talking about Rib.
No, Rem's best girl.
I know what you're doing. You're trying to bait me.
What am I doing?
You're trying to bait me. I know it.
Me?
You've
Bait
been
you?
You've been baiting me for years on the Rem
What?
Amelia fight.
No.
I'm not gonna fall for it today, Trupitas.
I mean,
Not today.
it's fine. You're just a coward. You
No.
can't defend your best girl,
Nope. We're not gonna get into this rabbit
who's
hole.
a glorified, dumpster.
Glorified, awesome person.
Hey, all I know is I really appreciate.
What does Rem
Hold
do
on,
besides
hold on,
just
hold on.
scream? What?
She beats up hell dogs.
Oh my
She
God.
kills Subaru like 2 or 3 times with her flail, which is a huge boner.
Whatever.
She
man.
just does a lot to support him, and you know what? It's okay, Steven. I respect garbage men and the men they do and the work they do.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly okay for you taking that trash as Amelia. It's okay.
Whatever, Adam.
I really respect you.
I can tell the sincerity in your voice that you 100% respect.
Hey, I do, man.
Yeah. 100%.
You like what you like. There's no judgment, no matter how wrong you are.
I'm always wrong.
Hey, at
always
least you
wrong at some
understand.
point. But not all the time. 60% of the time, I'm always wrong. We'll go with that. And what about you, Adam? What about your anime journey?
Ah, shoot, my anime journey. See, I seem to like vaguely remember as a kid in my mom's classroom watching like Dragon Ball a little bit, but I barely remember, so I don't even know if that was like actually the case. That would have been like when I was probably like 5 or 8 years old, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like my earliest memories, even though I didn't know it was an anime at the time, was I watched Naruto in middle school. every week at my dad's house. I'd watch the reruns on Toonami and all that shit. And it's funny because I never knew that it kept going on. Because I think for a while they just stopped showing the episodes.
That was a weird thing with Toonami. Was that like I think it got cut off, right? Like the funds got cut off, and then like
I think I don't know. I don't really remember.
because for like a cool like 4 or 5 years, I remember growing up that Toonami just went away, and like all the animes and stuff just kind of went away, and so it just went to like regular like Teen Titans or like Ed, Ed and Eddie, you know?
Hey man, Teen Titans was the shit back in the day, and
Yeah.
now it is shit.
Oh, Teen Titans Go! I don't want to watch that. Fuck that. I watched one episode and I didn't like it. I was like, whatever. Teen Titans was the better of the two.
Oh, this is garbage.
Garbage. So you started off going from Naruto in middle school. See, that's weird because I never saw Naruto growing up. I always saw just Dragon Ball Z and like Dragon Ball GT. You know, I just never saw Naruto like growing up as a kid.
See, it's funny because like you watched Toonami, you probably watched it more than I did because I just remember Naruto being on Cartoon Network like at 8 o'clock on Saturdays. So
Okay.
that would have been like a few hours before Toonami was airing.
Yeah, and that was like 6 in the morning for me, like Texas time. So yeah, that's probably why I never saw like Naruto. Was that it was always like early, too early for me to
No,
watch.
no. It was always late.
Was it night? Were you talking about 8 at night?
Yeah.
So that'd be like 6 my time. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I probably did miss it. Either I just never watched it, I never got into it, and like I solely already knew as a kid that like Dragon Ball Z was the shit for me. So like anytime they said it was coming on next, I didn't care about the other episode. I just wanted to watch Dragon Ball Z. So that's probably why I missed Naruto a lot. Was that like I just simply didn't care enough for it as a kid? Because like I thought Dragon Ball Z was just way better than everything else. Oh, and
Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh!
God.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Too. I remember fucking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, God, the dub though is so bad.
Dude, the dub is what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Like I don't watch subbed Yu-Gi-Oh! That's trash. Dubbed Yu-Gi-Oh! Is gold.
No, it's trash
And it,
anyway.
and the Fox for Kids Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub is the best.
No.
I don't know if you remember that one where like Fox dubbed One Piece and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I think I think they also dubbed another one, but it was like the worst fucking dub ever, dude. I think with One Piece it was way worse than it was with Yu-Gi-Oh! I think One Piece has like epic one-liners. Bless you.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I had no idea Fox dubbed anime. Well, I guess I think I vaguely remember them having Yu-Gi-Oh on at one point, which is fucking hilarious. Now that I really think about it.
Yeah. Fox was like really weird because like they didn't use any other dubs but themselves, and like their dubs were just fucking horrible.
My name's Joey Wheeler.
Yeah.
I gotta save my sister Serenity.
Oh my god. What was he trying to do? Like a New Yorker accent, right? Was that like a New York accent that they were trying to accomplish on that dub?
Dude, I don't know.
Cause like
I don't.
I know what voice you're talking about, but Jesus Christ, I remember that.
It's bad. It's like nails to a chalkboard.
That's what I'm saying. It's gold. It's like it's so bad that it's gold.
Yeah, it might be gold now if we both have like a few beers in us and
Oh,
then
yeah.
watch it.
I mean, I wouldn't watch this sober nowadays. I watched it as a kid, you know, and as a kid I didn't really care about quality, but now I do, you know, like I'm not trying to watch that.
Yeah, now you're like, how the hell did I make it through this?
Yeah. Honestly, as a kid, how did I make it through some of those like weird animes? Like with like sometimes Yu-Gi-Oh got real boring, and sometimes like with Dragon Ball Z, they would just scream for like 4 episodes.
Yeah, I think even as a kid, like I was like, no, I can't do this. But Naruto was cool though. I don't know, man. I thought all the characters were interesting and like, I don't know, man. 11-year-old me had a big crush on Hinata.
Naruto was so good. I felt like like they nailed everything. Well, I mean, there's like a lot of like faults in Naruto, I think, but
Honestly, it's still really good. Like I will like rewatch most of like the first part of Naruto every year.
yeah, I'll watch most of the arcs, honestly. I'll rewatch most of them, but I guess my favorite one is the Pain arc. Even from old Naruto, I guess my favorite arc is when Naruto and Sasuke are fighting in the tournament. I thought
in
that
the
was
tournament.
where like the Chunin exams.
They don't fight in
They
the
don't fight,
Chunin
but like when
exams.
Naruto and Sasuke fight at the Chunin exams, like that's my
Oh,
favorite.
that's what you meant.
Yeah.
My favorite fight, honestly, it's like everyone's favorite fight. But I guess my two favorite fights were like my favorite arc is the Chunin exams. And Rock Lee and Gaara was just fucking insane, even as a kid. Just seeing that dork just drop those weights, and you're just like, oh shit!
Yeah, everyone's reaction was just fucking crazy. I was like, damn.
I just vaguely remember, like, in my basement at my dad's house when he dropped those weights, and then it went to commercial. I ran upstairs, made popcorn, ran back down. My dad's like, what's going on? I'm like, he dropped the weights! He dropped the weights!
Just running back down with a bowl full of popcorn.
Oh, hell yeah. Like, that shit was fire. And honestly, like, one fight I really liked, I don't think a lot of people talk about, is I really liked Shikamaru and Tamari's fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he like that was a really good fight. It was weird how he just like let her win at the end though. Like he just forfeited.
Well, because he couldn't win at that point.
Yeah, he like got her in like his like ace, but he was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna quit."
Well, because he didn't have enough mana,
Chakra.
whatever. Yeah, chakra, mana, chakra. He didn't have enough chakra to finish off the fight because he like ran out right then.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. That was
But,
the one
like,
thing about Naruto is like when they were out of chakra, like they were just kind of fucked. Unless you were like Lee, and Lee just had taijutsu and he would just whoop your ass, you know. But like anyone else who didn't have chakra, like they were just fucking useless sometimes in Naruto. But
Sakura, you have a talent for genjutsu.
never uses it.
Yeah, you know we're not getting on that bullshit today.
Okay. So
Well,
carrying on through middle school, you said what happened after middle school? Did you just stop watching Naruto?
because I didn't. Well, Naruto, I think just stopped airing. I think. Like I don't know. Maybe it might have just been in my area, but I don't remember it being on like at all after that, and I didn't know it was anime, and nothing else was really airing at the time. And like obviously as a kid, I didn't know any better, so I just played like a lot of video games. I watched sports, but like I didn't watch anything through high school, and then in early college. Not early. Near the end of college, like I had a really bad semester. Like I was super depressed. I was working like a lot, and I don't know what caused me to do it, but I was just going through Netflix at the house I was living in at the time. I came across this dog shit show called Rosario Vampire.
What? I've never heard of that.
It's really fucking bad, man.
Was it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's like I think it still is. It was like just some like bastardized like harem show. I watched like the whole thing, and then that just kind of snowballed from there because like Netflix had a lot of anime at the time. I just went from one show to the next show, and I just didn't really stop. Like I watched Death Note, I think in 2 days.
Oh, that was another anime that I love was Death Note. Holy shit.
And then like there would be days where I would like play Diablo or something. I would just have Death Note going on in the background.
On Death Note, how did you like the ending to it? Did you think it was fitting for him?
I like the ending, but the whole second half outside of the ending, I didn't really like.
Yeah, when they brought in the new people, I was just kind of like, you know, like
Elle dying. I feel like either should have been near the end of the entire show or should have been the end. Like if you were gonna go that route, I don't know, because like. The other two characters weren't interesting at all.
Oh, like I forgot their names.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be my entire point. Like I don't know. Like I just didn't like the second half too much. I might actually rewatch Death Note maybe next week or something. But yeah, I just went from that to like I think I randomly discovered Crunchyroll. And then I just watched like a shit ton of shows. And then the next year I met like one of, another guy we play League with. And then he got me into the anime club. And then, yeah, like how you put it, you randomly posted something one day. I'm like, hey, I play League of Legends. I watch anime.
Yeah.
Like, and then I have been culturing him ever since.
Yeah, we've
But
honestly.
I think like
Go ahead.
it's kind of funny because you say like you kind of lean towards more of the action shows. I lean towards the slice of life like right away.
Yeah.
Because I watched I watched Nisekoi, which is like my favorite show of all time, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And my favorite manga.
Yeah, manga is dope.
And then I went from that to like Toradora and Your Lie in April in the span of a week. And I was chronically depressed. I mean, more so than normal, but chronically depressed for like a month after that.
Yeah. The trifecta will do that to you though, because I think you recommended Your Lie in April to me, and after I watched Your Lie in April, I think I watched Toradora, and that shit ruined me too. Cause
Yep.
that was just double sad throughout the
Yep.
entire fucking animes. I was just like, ugh.
Yeah, the worst part about Your Lie in April, kind of without spoiling it, is you know what's gonna happen, right? You kind of have a feeling by around the halfway through,
point,
wouldn't
yeah.
you say?
Yeah, halfway point, yeah, definitely.
But it still fucking does it in a way where it gets you anyway.
Well, I think is how they reveal the feelings for her, right? I think that's what got me. It was like, I was just like,
That got me, and like the last concert got me.
yeah,
You already know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I already know.
That got me really bad. We're you know what? No, we're not gonna talk about. We can talk about a different one because I don't want to spoil it. We can have like a spoiler cut podcast where we talk about Your Lie in April and whatnot.
Yep.
But like, if you like music and if you like really heartfelt slice of life stuff, Your Lie in April is honestly one of the all-time greats to me. I think it's like easily in my top 5 all time.
And it leaves you wanting more episodes because it's only 25. So like,
Yeah, isn't that kind of weird? Because it does kind of tell like a complete story, but you're like, no, it can't end this way.
Yeah,
but
like,
it fucking does.
where's episode 26 and 27?
Whoa.
Like, you're trying to figure out like when the next episode is, and you're all right. That's what makes like a really great anime is when like you love the anime, but like you also want more of it when it ends. You're like, okay, when's the next episode coming? And then like you kind of just like, oh, it's not coming.
There's no more.
That's how Demon Slayer manga was with me. Like every week, dude, I was just like into it, like super into Demon Slayer. And then like when it ended, like
I think that's the only manga you and I pretty much actively kept up with.
yeah, just because like did you get me into Demon Slayer? I think one of my friends did.
I think we both got into it about the same time because I think I started watching it because I watched the show first. Before I got into the manga. I think I watched episode 1, and then I want to say like around episode 8 is when I jumped back in.
Yeah, because I remember you told me, one of my friends told me to watch it, and so I watched it, and I remember telling you about it, and you're like, yeah, I've already watched episode 1. And then like, I think you found out about Shinobu, and that's what made you jump right back in, right? Or was you just like never got really to it until like that one day, and then you started binge watching it, right?
I knew I was going to like it. I think I just because like I mentioned earlier, I just hate going week to week. There's very few shows I do that for. So I think I just wanted it to get ahead a bit so I could go through some episodes. I think Shinobu was a plus for me, also Kanao. Because I just love both those characters a lot. But I like Zenitsu the most. Like, he's just a... that dude's a riot, man. He's good.
I love how he's always just trying to get on Nezuko. Like, what up, girl?
Nezuko-chan!
He's like, save me. Oh, man.
And unironically, probably the most badass, like, out of the 3 characters.
My favorite character is Rengoku, but, like, he doesn't last long at all in the fucking anime or the, like, manga, which is,
Honestly, I guess kind of while we're on it, we can, like, maybe kind of spoil this, like, a little bit. What did you think about the ending? I know we've talked about it before, but we might as well put it here.
Are you talking
about... Because it had one of...
What are you talking
Demon
about?
Slayer, the manga.
Are you talking about the future ending, or are you talking about the ending where?
I mean, that is the ending.
Okay. Well, I don't count it as the ending. I just count it as an extra. But I mean, I don't like it. Like, it just reminds me of Bleach. Also, in the Demon Slayer, I felt like they didn't really connect the dots on who was with who. You just kind of had to like make the assumption that like, Um, who's that girl? Hana? What's her name? She's Shinobu's little sister,
Kanao.
Kanu. Like, it doesn't really reference that, like him and her and goddamn, why is his name also like, what's the main character's name?
Tanjiro.
Tanjiro. So like, it never really like specified if they were actually together.
Kamado Kampachiro.
Ganpachiro Chamban. He's like, no, it's
Not,
Tanjiro.
not my fucking name. Anyway, getting back to what you think.
And then also, they like just revive all the souls into like of the Demon Slayer core, just into the kids of the people who survived from that war. Right? I think that,
Yeah, more or less.
and so for me, that's just like really, I thought that was just really half-assed in my opinion. Is like when they didn't correlate who was with who, and then they also just said, oh well, they're gonna reincarnate, but they're gonna reincarnate as their kids now. It's like, what? Why? How come they just can't reincarnate as like a different person, and like later in life, Tanjiro and Kanu meet like their reincarnated souls, and like they don't watch them grow up as kids, like they just meet them later in life. That'd be kind of better than like them being reincarnated into kids. I don't. How'd you think about it, honestly? Did you really like it?
Honestly, I thought the ending was complete ass.
That's what I'm saying.
Like at first I was like, it's not bad, but it's not good. And now I'm like, no, this is dog shit.
Yeah,
Because like you spent so much time like developing these characters who go through all this shit that we like have all gotten feelings for one way or the other. Like I was super invested into Tanjiro and Kanao getting together. Because to me that was hinted like from her first appearance. And to not get that at the end is one thing, but to like do kind of a cop out where everyone's reincarnated. Here's the thing: it's a nice ending, but no one gives a shit about that. Like in my mind, like it's all about like for me, it's the survivors. I want to know if Zenitsu actually gets with Nezuko.
yeah.
I want to know what happens to Kanao and Tanjiro. I want to know, and like I don't know. I just thought it was really weak. Like it just wasn't. It's because I haven't read Bleach or anything.
Yeah.
But like I know like a lot of people were really upset about that ending and like pairings and whatnot. But I was like furious. I'm like furious the more and more I think about like how it was set up to have like the best ending.
Yeah.
And ultimately it just was a letdown. And I think you like know well enough that for me the ending is to me how a manga or anime ends like how it will be remembered.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'll probably never reread the manga, like ever. I thought about buying it, but I'm like, no, because then I'll have to go through the ending again. It's like it just wasn't good. So I think for me, it went from like an 8 or a 9 to like a 5 because the ending is just such a big letdown.
I would have put it at a 5 for me. Like I thought it was a 10, just because you know how I am. But I brought it down to like a 7, honestly, just because like the ending seemed almost a little too rushed. Like I felt like it should have been a 300 chapter like arc or like series compared to like they just like chopping it off around 220ish. Like, and what the ending really reminded me of was how you haven't finished it yet, but I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Is how Food Wars ended for me on the manga. Like they also didn't really correlate about the the relationship I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and that just made me mad because like I was invested in Food Wars because of those two characters. Yes, every character in Food Wars I think is fucking awesome, but like
Yeah, Food Wars I think is one of those rare shows slash manga where every character is interesting.
yeah, like
Even if like they don't like do that much with the characters.
just their background enough to pique your interest into them. You're like, oh, who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
And so like I that's what I love about Food Wars. It's just like in the ending they literally just didn't address the main story, or they address the main story, but they don't address the main romance in the story. And I was just mad. I was just like, whatever. Like, you're really gonna like make me wait 2 months after you finish the actual manga, which you kind of felt like it was also kind of just dumb. The ending of the manga was dumb. And so like I don't know, man. Like I also thought Food Wars was like a 10 for me, but like I brought it down to a 6 after the ending. And like I don't know if you'll do the same. I think.
I mean, I do plan on reading it in a pretty near future, because since it is done, I can actually like go through it in like a week.
It's just so
Because
disappointing.
as you know, there's a certain couple I'm really invested in.
Yeah, we all know.
Yeah. It was no contest from day one. None.
Another anime I think we're really into that we both kind of like kept up. I kept up on manga side, you keep up on anime side. It's Black Clover. You don't keep up with it much anymore, and I don't either. But like when Black Clover first came out, I think after episode 45, and you got right back into it, I think we were both really into the anime as well.
I'm still really into the anime, but like I watch it in bursts.
Yeah.
I watch like 10 episodes at a time.
I think I do that too, just because I know that it's not gonna end anytime soon. So like, I don't have to be week to week by it, because it's not like it's gonna end like next month, right? Like,
Yeah.
So, I honestly thought the exact opposite of what Demon Slayer was and Black Clover was. I thought Black Clover was gonna be like Demon Slayer, like 200 and something odd chapters. You end it right there, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I said no.
Yeah, you said no, and then like when Demon Slayer came out, I automatically knew this thing wasn't gonna go past like 300 chapters, just on how fast paced it was. And so like I was just really shocked on how Black Clover has still been able to like, you know, carry on, because I thought after that Wizard arc, like when the Elf arc, sorry, I thought that was the end. I thought that would have been the fitting, but like it also made sense because like Asa is still like 15.
Yeah, I didn't think that would. I would have been honestly very pissed if that would have been the ending, because like, I don't know, man. That's just not enough.
Yeah, like they defeat the elves. Sorry for a spoiler, but like they defeat the elves and like that's the ending, right? Then all of a sudden like Asha's just crowned king, even though he hasn't really powered up much.
Yeah, like it wouldn't have been enough. Like I imagine it going like between 400 and 600 chapters.
You think so?
That's where I see it.
Yeah, you're probably
because
right.
I feel like there's going to be a time skip at some point.
I feel like the time
because every fucking shonen I've read and watched has a time skip. So I feel like there's gonna be time skip, and then there will be like 2 to 4 like big arcs, and then that'll be the end.
Honestly, if you read the manga, you're missing out on this like dope ass arc that's going on right now in the Spade Kingdom. I think they're kind of following up in the anime, but like I think this arc is gonna be pretty cool too. Like I was showing you some screenshots earlier. Like I just really think that I think Black Clover can take off like Naruto and like Bleach did. My
hero. Oh, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Here's the thing. I like Black Clover a lot. You know that. But the problem is it's just going to be dwarfed by like MHA or like Dr. Stone. And I love Dr. Stone. It's one of my favorite shows ever. Even though I really don't like MHA at all, I think it's just kind of just boring and overrated. I don't know, overhyped, I guess is how I would put it. But the problem is it's just dwarfed so massively by MHA alone that it's not going to get the hype it deserves. And the first, like, I think 50 episodes of Black Clover are kind of slow. Yeah, I mean, they are. But it has gotten, like, so much better since then. And it's like, I feel like it does deserve a lot more attention. I just don't think it will get it. And that's unfortunate.
I mean, I tell everybody on Black Clover, like, if you're going to start watching Black Clover, the first 20 episodes are really not going to be super great. But, like, after that, like, it starts to pick up really well once they start, like, you start knowing all the characters. I think they like, list all the characters in the first 20 episodes. That's why I feel like it takes forever. But then after that, like, once the 20 episodes are up, then, like, you jump into, like, a better arc. But, yeah, I get it. Like, MHA is overrated, I feel like, too. I've been reading the manga on that one.
We're gonna get a lot of hate for that one.
You think so? I mean,
I know I will, because I'm like critical as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too critical on it. I think it's still
Well,
a
I
good
don't feel
story.
like I'm even that critical on it. I'm just like,
Well, you don't shit on it. You're just like kind of stating a fact, like how really overrated it is and like how hyped it is. Cause like
well, the most perfect example like I can think of was like when everyone was making such a big deal that one season
Stain arc.
that Stain was in, and I'm like, he's literally in 3 episodes, and wasn't that like a 25 episode season?
Yeah, it was a 25 episode arc.
I'm like, he's in 3 episodes. I think he's really only really out of those three, an episode and a half he's really featured in.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, he's like the best fucking villain of like,
Dog now. Like
but like no, like because he doesn't really do anything. Like yeah, he is like super like polarizing in that show when you really think about him. But is he that memorable? No. Like I'm sorry, but like even Zabuza from fucking Naruto to me is more memorable because he like he like completely shapes how Naruto acts the rest of the show.
yeah, I don't think Stain
And like
really
so
did that.
one bad guy who kills heroes is going to shape the entire show of MHA. He's like that good? No, I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
And like yeah, there's a lot of interesting characters, but like all the fights that they do in that one tournament arc, pretty much all of them went exactly how I thought they were, outside of maybe like one.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when shows do that. It's like I don't know, like fucking like when you watch the tuning exams for the first time, right? Did you ever fucking think Naruto was gonna beat Neji?
Fuck no.
No.
Not one
Did you
bit.
ever think like Tamari was gonna like, even though in the way she won was kind of weak, was ever gonna win against Shikamaru?
No.
No. Like
Lee versus Gaara is another example too, because that's still the tuning exams. You know, like, did you really
like,
think Lee was gonna even give Gaara a fucking fight? Like,
no, and that's like the thing. You never thought these things were gonna happen, and like in MHA, I'm like,
you already know, like,
yeah,
oh,
Deku has no control over his power yet, so it's like he's gonna lose, and like Uruka's obviously gonna lose to Bakugo, and I don't know. I just thought that whole tournament arc was just like, it was just boring to me, man. Like, and that's the thing, like, because MHA doesn't do anything really that wrong,
and like,
but it
that
doesn't
arc
do
wasn't
anything
even about
that
Deku.
good.
Like, that arc was about Deku, but it wasn't about Deku. It was more about Todoroki and like him trying to find his true self because he hates his dad. You know, wah. And then like that didn't even develop that much either. You know, like they feel I feel like MHA kind of tries to develop people into like, you know, something, and then they forget about it, and then they're just like, oh, okay, we'll bring it out next arc. You know, like with the Stain, I'm pretty sure they had brainstorming ideas for days on Stain, and then when it got to like actual production, they were like, they just forgot about it, and they're like, oh yeah, we got to bring Stain in here. What do we do? Oh, we'll just have him in a 13-minute fight, and we'll span it over 2 episodes. Because that's what they did. You know, like, I thought that was dumb as fuck. And it's like, yeah, I totally get you on MHA, man. Like, is that, like, it's overrated, and it's kind of hyped for me, too.
Yeah, I know. When everyone like brings their torches, here's the thing. I'm not saying it's a bad show. Because it's not. Like, if you like shonen and whatnot,
You're gonna like it.
with a wide variety of casts, you are gonna like this show.
You know.
But is it like the greatest fucking thing in the world? In my mind, no, because I don't think like it does enough for me. It doesn't have enough fights and whatnot. Like
It
Black
doesn't have
Clover
enough
doesn't.
with the characters. Like, I feel
No,
like,
and like for instance, like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, but you like Black Clover? It has less fights than MHA." And like, yeah, that might be true, but the characters to me are like, they spend more time on the characters,
yeah.
on the small group of characters they have, and that makes you connect with them a lot more.
Yeah, because you
I
start
feel
to learn
like.
more and more about them as the series goes along. Like, you may like know most about them, but then all of a sudden Black Clover will switch it up and give you like a little hint about their like life that you didn't know. And you're like, oh fuck, like that's fucking cool. Like, I learned something
Yeah, they
new about
find a
this
way
character.
to like, they find a way to what's it like, leave a breadcrumb trail because Chunky Cat here obviously knows my two favorite characters are Noel and Yami. And they always like sprinkle a little bit more breadcrumbs about them to keep me watching.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love this next arc. Dude, they sprinkle a whole bunch on Noel in the first part, and then Yami has this badass fight. Not gonna say anything more. But
Yami OP.
dude, I think Yami is probably probably is the favorite character besides Julius Novachrono, the Wizard King himself. The Wizard King for me is like my favorite character. I feel like in Black Clover, and Yami's like number 2. I'll state that right now.
He still did me dirty in the elf arc.
Who, Julius?
Yes.
Dude, I told you. You did. Oh my god, I knew he wasn't gonna be dead, man.
He did me dirty.
You were like, nah, he's dead. He's not coming back, and I was like, I don't know.
He did me dirty, man. That's all I got.
Yo, but that fight scene with him and
dude, the animation for that was fucking awesome. Yeah. Holy shit. That's still one of the best animated fights I think I've ever seen.
I love when he says like, "Where's your book?" And then he just points up to the sky, and like his fucking huge book is just like there. Like, where's your? I guess he had like, what are they called? What are those books called?
Grimoires.
Grimoires. Yeah, he's like, "Where's your grimoire?" And like Julius just points up.
He just points up.
And I'm like, oh my god, I thought that was like the fucking shit.
Oh fuck.
But yeah,
God, at some point I'm gonna have to rewatch that fight.
Yeah, I haven't rewatched any of Black Clover yet, and I really do enjoy Black Clover. And I wonder if I ever will jump into like a rewatch of that.
Yeah, you will at some point.
Probably just a certain arc that I like. I haven't gotten and watched back Demon Slayer either. I can't like bring myself to rewatch Demon Slayer.
I might at some point.
I rewatched Tokyo Ghoul. Like, I've rewatched a couple animes that I first watched.
Oh god, Tokyo Ghoul, man, Jesus fucking Christ!
Only the first season. I'm not watching. I don't rewatch the second one.
Even the first season makes me sad.
It does.
Because you're like, god damn, they missed so much shit. Because I remember watching the show, and I was like, yeah, this show's pretty good. Then I like picked up the manga. I'm like, oh my god, this is like 10 times better. Yeah, that's like one of the few manga where I haven't completely completed. Jesus. But like I have like all of the first half of Tokyo Ghoul. I only have a couple volumes of Re.
I need to finish the last chapters of Re. I don't know what happens. I think you
don't know what happens?
No, you finished Re before I did, and I didn't even.
I thought you finished it before I did.
No. What happened was that I was gonna finish it, but then I just stopped. I don't know what happened.
All right, you know what? You have homework then.
Yeah, I need to finish reading it.
Yeah, read it before we do like our next special podcast.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely talk more about Tokyo Ghoul because I don't know what happens in the end. I don't know if he dies or if he's like still alive.
Jesus Christ, yeah, you gotta go do that. Then.
I don't know if Rize got reincarnated again because like I left off where like.
God, Jesus Christ, that makes me still mad. Anyway.
Yeah, like the group of people just like reincarnated a Rize, and I was like, what the fuck? So that's where I'm at on that. But yeah, I don't know. We've actually been going for an hour. Tribitas, how do you feel?
Pretty good, mate.
I feel dead inside, as usual.
But, same though.
What other anime have you been watching? Because I know we all talk about Rent-A-Girlfriend and Uzaki-chan, but like we also watch anime besides that. And like I don't know if you've been watching anything new lately. I know you've been doing the basketball anime.
Yeah, Kuroko no Basket. I still need to finish that. I've been keeping up with ReZero. I've been keeping up with the Fire Force season 2, and there's a few other shows I need to catch back up on.
I need to catch back up on Tower of God. I need to start watching season 2 of Fire Force because what episode are you in? Like 10 or 11 now? I said I would jump 10? Back in. I said I would jump back in about 10 to 11.
Yeah, I think there's 10.
And then let's see, what else do I do? ReZero season 2. I need to rewatch that. Or I need to watch that.
I do like this season, even if really they do kick me in the balls the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, you were sad that Rem was just fucking obsolete from the actual like series.
Yeah, LOL. By the way, coma.
Everyone's like, who
Then
the
there's
fuck is Rem?
me sitting there, been waiting for Rem to reappear after 4 years. Woof! Oh!
But like if you notice in the last episode of the first season, Subaru asks everybody, what about Rem? And they're like, who the fuck is that? And I was like, oh,
Oh, and like,
oh.
man, I've been waiting for years because I'm like, man, if anyone's gonna overtake Holo as my number one waifu, it'd be Rem. And then, yep, 30 seconds into the new season, woof!
Are they gonna follow the light novels?
I don't know. I haven't read the light novels.
Because for ReZero is really weird. I I really got into ReZero when it first came out, so I kind of know a little bit about it. Is that like, but there's a light novel, but before the light novel, there's a dude who's actually been writing about this fucking story for like years already.
Yeah, the web novel, because then
Yeah.
they turned it into a light novel.
Yeah, so like I don't know. Are they gonna follow the web novel? Are they gonna follow the light novel?
Light, they're gonna follow the light novel.
Okay.
That's how it always goes.
Because I didn't know that they had a web novel for it until like I got into it and started reading over and over and shit. So like I'm pretty much interested in this in like the new season. Like you said, you're kind of sad that Rem's not in it, but like I feel like she's gonna appear at some point in the season, you know?
I mean, I know she will, but I'm just like, God damn, I've been waiting years. You know, I've been waiting years for this shit.
Yeah, when season 2
The-
came out, I was like,
The war between her and Holo needs to be settled. And I don't know. Then, yep.
I mean, shouldn't Hello win though?
I mean, she should. But, I'm still waiting, man. I don't want Holo to be topped, but I want the war to end.
That's another anime I couldn't get into that I really wanted to, was Spice and Wolf. And I think it had to do with
It's fair, though, because it's definitely not for everybody.
it was like an economy anime, and I was just like,
It's like economics and fucking fantasy romance.
yeah.
It's a very niche genre, and I think I told you that you might not like it, but it is a great show.
Yeah, I think
It's really
Holo's
really
great.
up there for me.
I think another one I couldn't watch is Konosuba. That's the one with the.
See, I don't get because I feel like that one would have been right up your ass.
Which one's that one with the blue-haired girl, right? Or is that the?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another one I couldn't get into was the girl who liked to blow up shit. That's like Isaac's favorite character. She's on a.
Megumin.
Yeah, I don't. Is
Yeah,
that
she's
Konosuba
on,
too?
yeah, she's on my favorite characters list.
Yeah. So like, I just couldn't get into it, man. Like I don't know why. But like I tried.
God, it's so good though.
I may retry it again. But
I'm
like,
just saying that is the Konosuba movie is the only movie I've ever laughed from start all the way to finish.
what's an anime movie that I've liked from start to finish? Probably like Silent Voice, but that's another sad anime.
Cold Geass.
The third movie, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I still need to watch it.
Yeah, I ruined it for you. I don't know what I did to ruin it for you, but I remember you didn't watch
Yeah.
it because I said something.
Yeah, you did say something. I'm like, motherfucker. Yeah, that's another thing, everyone. This motherfucker really likes to spoil stuff for me.
I never spoil anything.
You literally ruined Tokyo Ghoul for me.
Oh.
Don't you dare.
Oh.
Don't you dare try and claim innocent on that one, homie.
That wasn't me though.
That was you.
That was Steven 2016 maybe?
Yeah.
17?
Yeah. Sure, man. Sure.
This is Steven 2020, you know, the
Yeah,
version.
sure. Yeah.
20.20.
Sure.
You know, that was a lot of patch notes ago, dude. You know, I can't speak for
You
that.
can take those old patch notes and shove it up your ass.
Those are long patch notes ago. That was like Steven
No.
20.16, bro. That was patch note 20.16.
You completely ruined it for me. I don't know how I trekked through it after that.
Because it's good.
Because I had been waiting for years for that to happen. And then it did. But I found out the wrong way.
I mean, okay, so for you guys who don't know, I may or may not have screenshotted the entire chapter to send it to him. But in my defense, I thought
No.
he was gonna be really pumped to see it like I was.
No, there is no defense for that. You don't know.
No, my defense. I I thought he was gonna be pumped like I was, and he wasn't.
Because I had been waiting for years for it to finally happen. And it did, but nope. You don't send spoilers like that, you cockweasel.
Look, man, that was patch note 20.16. I'm sorry.
Here's my patch point middle finger.
And you can put up my patch ass. Like, oh man.
Yeah, Uncle Ray Ray plays that game.
Hey, but at least it all came back to me when I watched Aramanga Sensei for 4 times in a row.
Yep, sure goddamn did. You're welcome.
Yeah. Can I bring up a rent a girlfriend thing right now? I may or may not be liking Ruka as the series is going longer.
Nope, I claimed her.
I don't care about you claiming her. I'm telling you that like I actually might be on your side for once, which is never really happens.
Yeah, that is really weird.
It happened.
Are you feeling okay, mate?
It happened on Nisekoi, right? No, well I like Yui.
Yeah.
But like I honestly thought that was that her name, Chizuru? Chitoge, sorry. I honestly thought Chitoge was really good character, and I liked her too. But your favorite character was the annoying one, right?
I like Chitoge was my favorite character.
Yeah, but your dark horse was that annoying bitch.
Marika?
Yeah, there you go. She wasn't.
She is not annoying. How dare you?
See, there you go. There you go.
She is,
ladies and gentlemen.
Great.
She's alright.
How? What?
She's alright. Yui's better than her.
No.
Yes.
No.
See, we can agree on Chitoge. That's not the problem between me and Trapithas. The problem is that like the other characters that we don't agree on. I honestly think Yui is way better than Mahika, but Trapithas seems to think that like the annoying bitch who did nothing but spoil everything for most of the fucking manga.
Bullshit.
Just bugging, bro. She's bugging. Like you knew she wasn't gonna win, but she bugged. Like like
she is just a young maiden pursuing her feelings.
If I had a fly swatter, bro, I would have.
I'm gonna you.
I would have fly swatted that bug out the fucking anime or the manga. Sorry.
She is an angel.
Yui, however, goddess.
No.
Pioneer.
Okay, to be fair, she is a good character, but they put her in way too fucking late.
Incredible. No. Awesome.
I'm definitely not going that far.
5 stars.
3.5.
Would run again.
Yeah, we know you would.
With Ruka though, I don't know. I feel like she could win, right? And
I feel like she deserves to win, but probably won't because she's not Chizuru, and Chizuru was literally no fucking fault.
Yeah, no.
From where I'm at, anyway, and honestly, I really
feel the
don't.
Same way in the new episode too. Like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but like, I just feel you're gonna be really mad with the new episode on how shit. Like, that's when I told you that dude's like way shittier than the Toradora dude about like hoeing him on feelings. Like, you're gonna see why. Like, he literally does Ruka dirty in this episode, and she doesn't give a fuck, and it bothers me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I want to say, because then I'll spoil it for you, because I'll get really mad and talk about it. But yeah, I thought that was really dumb, this episode, and the last episode too. Like, I feel really bad that Ruka's getting treated that way, and how she got introduced, and how she like gave up her love really that quick.
Stop. We're stopping now.
Yeah, you have to stop me, Benson, because you already know. You already know that spoiler's like on the tip of my tongue. And it's just
well, stop. Shut up.
It's ready to. But
you shut the fuck up now, sir.
But on Mizuki-chan, I like it. I think that anime is really wholesome. That's an anime where like I'm having a bad day or like not having the greatest day, I can watch it and like get a smile. It's not like an anime that I would like dearly hold to me though. I couldn't. I think Ozaki-chan's one of those animes where like I enjoy it, but I'll never rewatch it again. I don't know if you feel the same.
Uzaki,
Cause
Yeah, I'll
like,
probably only watch it once and then be done with it.
cause it's like Aho Girl. It's like every other comedy that like relies on its like punchline. Sometimes it's like, well, once the punchline's gone and you rewatch it again, like, is it funny or is it just like you already know it's coming? So like, I don't know. I hope it becomes what I hope it becomes, but like I already kind of know that it. I don't expect much out of Uzaki-chan more than just being a wholesome anime for me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, same. I think you need those type of animes too. You can't always just bank on having like dope ass
Yeah,
anime.
the greatest fucking show ever.
Yeah, and I think people like some people do search for that, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate because then you're kind of like just always disappointed. I don't know. That's kind of my look at it.
Yeah, because then like you start a lot of animes and then like they just if you're like one of those people that wanted to be a 10 out of 10 like right off the bat, then like, you know, you're going to disappoint yourself like you said. And so I don't know. I try to bring my approach to anime as like if it's good enough for me, then I'll take it. You know, I don't have to rely on like, you know, the masses to like the anime, right? Cuz like I'm pretty sure there's animes that we like that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah, I don't know why no one likes Saramanga Sensei.
Right?
It's the greatest show ever.
Like what's another anime that people wouldn't like that I kind of watched? I can't really put one on the top of my tongue, but there's some animes that like a lot of people don't like the anime and they shit on it, but then like there's just a small group that love it. Black Clover, honestly,
Yeah,
on our
I
anime
would say
club
Black
page.
Clover immediately came to mind
I
for
didn't
me.
want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but like you just have to say it because that's all that's running through my mind as well. It's like the anime club that I mentioned that we're in. For some odd reason, everyone hates Black Clover in that fucking anime page, and it's literally only me, Trepitas, and this guy named Clayton who like
I,
only posts about Black
I
Clover.
think we are the only ones who post.
Yeah, and I haven't posted about Black Clover in like literally a year. In
I think
fucking
it's been like 4 or 5 months for me.
yeah, and so like besides Clayton, he's the only man out there like still doing reviews for the episodes, and for him, I commend him to that.
Yeah, oof.
Oh man,
It has been a while, Jesus.
it has indeed.
All right. Huh? I think it's been a good episode.
Yeah, sorry, I just my fucking sinus just started cutting back up. Sorry that I'm sick, guys. If you hear my voice sound a little weird, but I am a little sick. But yes, like Trepito said, it has been a really good podcast. Over an hour long. We talked about a lot of shit, honestly, that we haven't talked about in years. I felt like.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
Good catching up with you, man. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna record another podcast. But it's very iffy if we get the timing. Hopefully Monday too, we could get one. But you know, thanks for anyone
I
who's
think
watching. Oh, go ahead, Benson.
I think we'll be able to land on one of the 2 days.
Yeah, 1 or 2 days there should be another podcast episode coming in. We'll definitely be talking about Uzaki-chan and Rent a Girlfriend on those. And so after that, I just lost my train of thought because someone was yelling in my fucking room. Sorry, but let's see. Go ahead, Benson. Talk real quick. I'm fucking losing my train of thought.
Yeah, I got nothing more. I'm good.
Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Once again, thanks Anthony for the logo. Really do appreciate it, man. You didn't have to do it like I said, but you still did. And thanks for watching the anime podcast that we do. Hopefully we can get you on sometime soon. Get you vetted into here. And thanks for watching, guys. If you like, please like and subscribe if you will. Benson, you want to say bye before I end this?
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thank you again, Anthony. Anthony, right? It's Anthony.
Yes, Anthony.
I know you've said his name a couple times, so I'm bad with names. Thank you for doing the art, man, and we hope to get you on pretty quick. Other than that, I'm good. I'm good to go.